Cancelled.
Schweezy.
Let's talk about a goofball, knucklehead, a buffoon, some would say, goofball, a silly goose. Goes by the name of John Wayne Gacy. So I've been recently watching, recently watched, I don't know how new it is, the John Wayne Gacy tapes over on Netflix. Flicks of internet flicks. But anyways, they released the John Wayne Gacy tapes. Now, they released the Ted Bundy tapes, but see, one of the big differences I have to say between the John Wayne Gacy tapes and the Ted Bundy tapes is there's only like a small period of time where John Wayne Gacy was like, I didn't kill anyone. I didn't kill him. That's not me. There was like a small period of time. These tapes don't go over that. Gacy was just like, yeah, here's how I killed him. So yeah, I would like to handcuff him to the bed, and then I choke him to death. And I like to watch the life leave their eyes. Like I said, what a kind of a knucklehead. A knucklehead. That John Wayne Gacy. Big old knucklehead. But anyways, though, yeah, John Wayne Gacy. You also probably, if you don't know who John Wayne Gacy is, let me first start off by saying, he's the guy from the Sufjan Stevens song.
What?
The one, I think, just titled John Wayne Gacy, from his album Illinois. But for those of you who don't know, John Wayne Gacy's, I think, in the late 70s. He killed, at least confirmed kills and noted kills, I think, 33 young boys between like 15 to 19. He clearly had a type. John Wayne Gacy. He clearly had a type. And like killing was like a sexual thing for John Wayne Gacy. It was like I think what the first time it happened was like he was trying to hook up. He was just doing what the gays used to do back then. Go to a bar in secret and hook up in secret and stuff like that. And then I guess the guy got dangerous, so John Wayne Gacy, like, I guess he just killed him out of self-defense. And Gacy realized that was a turn-on for him. So he's like, I should do this. This is awesome. I'm going to do this some more. Can you imagine, like, just like a life-threatening event in your life that you make it out alive of, and you're like, you know what? I'm kind of turned on right now. Maybe we should keep doing this. So I guess he buried all those people under his crawl space, and he just kept putting people under his crawl space. Now, yeah, it is weird. It is always weird to me that like age is a type to people. I mean, I guess I like women a little older than me, but like it's more like as I get older, the age changes. You know, so you know what I'm saying. So it's like when I was 17, like 19, 20-year-olds were like hot to me, like, well, 21-year-olds when I was 17, that was a thing. But then I was like, but now I'm like 29. I'm listening to the new Demi Lovato album, and like she has a song called 29, which states when Wilmer Valderrama was 29, she was 17, and that's when they started dating. And then she turned 29, and she realized, dating a 17-year-old would never cross my mind. And it's never crossed my mind to date a 17-year-old. I can promise you all that. Dating a I just turned 29 too, so I'm like, dang, a 17-year-old, God, that's so fucking weird. Like, what are you talking? Like, I think people were like, I wouldn't date a child because they would annoy the shit out of me. And I was like, I don't think that's why those people date children. I don't think that's why they're doing it. To be honest with you, but John, the short, fat guy. So, not all serial killers do that, but like, so weird. That was his type. 15 to 19-year-olds, like young boys, and he's like his construction business. He's like, he's always just hiring young boys, and people were like, why don't you hire people with more experience? John was like, I think they're great the way they are. I don't see a problem with that. I don't see the problem here, and shit like that. Just like, sometimes, like restaurants, sometimes it's like, like I mean, women, most of the time, women go, it's a lot of women go into those jobs, like, I'm hot. I can get tips. I can make money being this without lowering my standards. If that's also, I can use my appearance to my advantage without starting an OnlyFans. So, like, they go into that. I don't think these guys knew that was the case getting them. So he killed 33 people. Well, let's keep that in mind. 33 people. And it was like it was always just like a lot of kids. Like, where were they last with? Oh, they were interviewing for a job with John Wayne Gacy's construction company, or something like that. Yeah, I guess he was working for John Wayne Gacy. Now he's just disappeared. And the police eventually were like, that's kind of weird. Why do all these people? Because usually, if there's disappearances and they find one connection, detectives are gonna look into that one connection. And even if like they're looking into it, like they're like, is John Wayne Gacy a suspect? Let's try to go check into this, and stuff like that, stuff like that. So, man, he was so sloppy. I just think John Wayne Gacy was the sloppiest serial killer out, or at least one of them. Ted Bundy is up there being sloppy. Ted Bundy, I mean, like, he escaped prison twice. And the second time, he was out for a while. And if I would have been him, I'd be like, look, I know raping girls and killing them is fun. And it's a turn on to me. If I want to not be in prison, I got to stop this. Or I got to be more sneaky. I can't just have a normal life. I just have to travel around, kill girls, and I'm not saying they did anything right. I'm not saying that. I'm just like, when I get into serial killer talk, I'm always thinking, the reason why I'm like so interested in it is, what was the reason they got caught and stuff like that? They got caught and they got arrested. Like, what was the reasoning there? For John Wayne Gacy, like I said, so John Wayne Gacy killed like 33 people, and a majority of them he buried in his crawl space. So that's the thing. So at one point, like I said, like the cops kept having connections to Gacy in regards to like all these killings he had, and so they got one search warrant for his house, and they looked around, didn't look in the crawl space because back then people didn't bury people in the crawl. Most people who killed people, I guess they just never checked crawl spaces unless they had like a good reason to. Which, in hindsight, if you're going to bury someone in your house, the crawl space is probably one of the best spots. Not anymore, though. Just not the crawl space. Like Garth. Garth has friends in crawl spaces. You think that's fucking funny, buddy? I kill your dad again. So, yeah, for the first time they searched the house, they found, like, random, like, souvenirs he kept from the kills, like class rings, receipts, coats, and shit like that. But then... but they didn't check the crawl space. So like they had some of the items, but it was like we don't have the evidence, we don't have the cause to like arrest him and shit like that. So the police decided to just follow him 24/7. Now, if like for real though, like at one point, like I guess John Wayne Gacy was gonna like get the Justice Department to stop following him because it was like kind of a pain in the ass. Like assuming like someone didn't do it, but the cops are just gonna follow him 24/7. Just from a small hunch is amazing. So John just like was just like, okay, like he goes out to eat somewhere and he's like, you guys want to come sit by me and talk? Shit like that. He'd do that. And then the stupidest thing he did, the dumbest fucking shit he did is he invited the cops over to his home. So again, because, it's not enough. So like one cop's talking to him, one's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and shit like that. He goes to the bathroom, it's like the winter. Heat kicks on, and through the vents, he just like that's dead body. And so like if it wasn't for that, John could have just like stopped killing people for a while, just wait till the cops get off his back, and just let him follow him and shit like that. But letting him back in the house, and then like they had to convince the judge to get a warrant. So I know Trump is Trump got the FBI got a warrant to raid Trump's house, and how warrants actually work. I don't know completely how they work, but the gist of what I know is that you have to have a reason. Like, you have to have a reason to wanting to, like, get a warrant for someone's house. Like, you have to have a good reason to. Like, that's when a judge signs off on a warrant. That's American law. It's like one of the amendments or something like that. Third or I think it's the Fourth Amendment, right? That's warrants. Third one's like you just can't have soldiers sleep at your house or something like that. It's like a real problem in the early 1700s. Now, I guess we've been around so long, it's not been a problem. Shit like that. So like they're like, so they had to like explain to like this judge who was like, we already signed off on one search warrant. We didn't really find anything. He was like, okay, their body's buried in the house. Like I smelled it when he invited us fucking over to look into his house. The dumbest fucking thing.
That's rough, buddy.
And so basically, they basically got another search warrant. They found at least double digits in bodies under his house, and like it was he had so many bodies in his house. Apparently, they couldn't. They're like, I don't know if. Because usually if you're going to, like, search a house like that, like, we're going to leave the house intact. They're like, I don't think we can leave this house intact. If anything, he's just going to have to build a new house. There's too many bodies here. And I think the property, for a while, it was for sale for a while. Like, the house isn't there anymore. But it's like, this is where they were buried. Stuff like that. So, I think the lesson is, if you're going to kill someone, you have to have a good plan on hiding the body. Like, I don't know how to hide a body. I'm also not out here killing people. I don't know, you can dissolve the bodies in acid, shit like that. Throw it in a river, A lot of things you can do. There's a lot of things you can do with the body. I'm not going to give you that advice on what to do. The only one that makes sense to me is what they did on Breaking Bad, and like they dissolved body in those buckets and shit like that. And I'm too scared to Google that. Don't follow John Wayne Gacy. Buried him under your own fucking house. Like, oh, jeez, come on. It's like easy target. Like, oh yeah, dead bodies in my own house, and I'm a prime suspect. And then don't be like Ted Bundy, who escaped prison and kept doing that shit and stayed in the same area. You gotta move around, buddy. You gotta move. You needed to spread base. Like, kill a couple people. Knows the cops are gonna be on him soon. Like, he was in Florida. I would have said gone northeast coast, because he was in like Utah, Seattle, or not Seattle, Washington. On the other side of the country, my man. Do the do. Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.